"What are you looking so worried about, Earthworm?" the centipede asked. "What's the problem?" "The problem is," the Earthworm said, the problem is that there's no problem." Everyone burst out laughing. "Cheer up, Earthworm," they said. "Come and eat." And they all went over to the tunnel entrance and began scooping out great chunks of juicy, golden-colored peach flesh. "Oh, marvelous," said the centipede, stuffing it into his mouth. "Delicious," said the old green grasshopper. "Just fabulous," said the glowworm. "Oh, my," said the ladybug primly. "What a heavenly taste." She looked up at James, and she smiled, and James smiled back at her. They sat down on the deck together, both of them chewing away happily. "You know, James," the ladybug said, "up until this moment I have never in my life tasted anything except those tiny little green flies that live on rose bushes. They have a perfectly delightful flavor, but this peach is even better." "Isn't it glorious?" Miss Spider said, coming over to join them. "Personally, I had always thought that a big, juicy, cotton-web bluebottle was the finest dinner in the world, until I tasted this." "What a flavor!" the centipede cried. "It's terrific. There's nothing like it. There never has been, and I should know because I personally have tasted all the finest foods in the world." Whereupon the centipede, with his mouth full of peach, and with juice running down all over his chin, suddenly burst into song. "I've eaten many strange and scrumptious dishes in my time, like jellied gnats and dandy pats and earwigs kicked in slime. And mice with rice, they're really nice when roasted in their prime. But don't forget to sprinkle them with just a bit of grime. I've eaten fresh mud burgers by the greatest cooks there are, and scrambled dregs and stink bugs' eggs and hornets stewed in tar, and pails of snails and lizards' tails and beetles by the jar. A beetle is improved by just a splash of vinegar. I often eat boiled slobbages, they're grand when served beside minced doodle bugs and curried slugs, and have you ever tried mosquitoes, toads, and wampfish roes, most delicately fried? The only trouble is they disagree with my inside. I'm mad for crispy wasp stings on a piece of buttered toast, and pickled spines of porcupines, and then a gorgeous roast of dragon's flesh, well hung, not flesh. It costs almost a buck at most, and comes to you in barrels if you order it by post. That's the mail. I crave the tasty tentacles of octopi for tea. I like hot dogs. I love hot frogs, and surely you'll agree. A plate of soil with Injun oil and a super recipe. I hardly need to mention that it's practically free. For dinner on my birthday, shall I tell you what I chose? Hot noodles made from poodles on a slice of golden hose, and a rather smelly jelly made of armadillo toes. The jelly is delicious, but you have to hold your nose. "Now comes," the centipede declared, "the burden of my speech. These foods are rare beyond compare, some are right out of reach, but there's no doubt I'd go without a million plates of each for one small mite, one tiny bite of this fantastic peach." Everybody was feeling happy now. The sun was shining brightly out of a soft blue sky, and the day was calm. The giant peach, with the sunlight glinting on its side, was like a massive golden ball sailing upon a silver sea.